As the Minnesota Vikings are looking for the future franchise quarterback, the draft is the place to be. First round is also the place to be. A quarterback who is ascending the heights of the 2021 draft class is one Mac Jones, quarterback of the University of Alabama. Woo! Roll Tide taking over for Tua. Well, I took over for Tua last year too, but yeah. So let's talk about the Crimson Tide quarterback who is shooting up the draft charts today. So background, 6'3", 214. He's a redshirt junior from the Jacksonville, Florida. Duval, a former four-star recruit. He committed to Alabama class of 2017. He originally committed to Kentucky and then went back on Mark Stoops. A&M, Mizzou, Pitt, Ole Miss, Louisville, Baylor were all in the mix. And this is how you know why Saban is quite possibly the greatest recruiter of all time. So he sold Mac Jones, this kid who was a composite four-star recruit, that, hey, we want you to come in and, 2017, we're also bringing in Tua Tagovailoa. And also, yes, we just went to the national title game. We lost, unfortunately, but it was true freshman Jalen Hurts who was leading the way there as well. So you're going to come in with all these quarterbacks who are going to be playing on Sunday, who are going to be in the Heisman races as well, and you're going to come in and compete as opposed to going somewhere and starting as a true freshman. He sold it to him. It's amazing, right? But Jones committed to Alabama, redshirt 2017. They won the national title. That was the year where Jalen Hurts gave way in the Natty against Georgia, and Tua came in and played hero ball. It was great. Played sparingly in 2018, which ended in the national title loss against Clemson. 2019, as a redshirt sophomore, did play in 12 games and did have 4 starts when Tua went down with that hip injury. Ended up with 1,503 yards passing, 14 touchdowns, 3 picks, a 186.8 quarterback rating, and the future was hopeful. Even though you lost Tua, even though you lost Jerry Jeudy and Ruggs and Jedrick Wills, the tide still rolls on, right? So even though you lost Jeudy and Ruggs, you could make a good case that Waddle and Smith are better. They really are. Also, Waddle and Smith, it sounds like the ESPN 1000 flagship show, but yeah. And Jones has come in and he destroyed. He's completing 78.8% of his passes. Had 3 straight 400-yard games against A&M, Ole Miss, and Georgia, school record. Saban's really opened up that offense, catering to Mac Jones' strengths. He has a 212.8 quarterback rating, a 95.5 QBR, which is on a scale of 100, which is just amazing. He's a 3-time SEC Offensive Player of the Week. Might get a 4th one after his 291-yard, 4-touchdown, no-pick game in a 41 donut woodshedding of Mississippi State. Hey, remember KJ Costello? Great, cool. And it's been really impressive on how fast he is rising. So pros, cons, Mac Jones. Pros, poise. So you have a guy. This is what happens when you have guys sit at big schools, but every single day in practice is the Alamo. Every single rep in spring ball, in two-a-days, in the offseason, it all matters. So Mac Jones has been waiting for this for 3 years. Plus, he's been in that quarterback room with Tua, with Jalen Hurts. That's only going to make him better. Iron does sharpen iron. Also pro. Anticipation. So there's throwers and there's passers. Throwers are a guy who sees a receiver open, then he throws it. Passers are guys who throws the receiver open. So Mac Jones has great anticipation, great touch, throws guys open, which is a needed skill at the NFL level. You could easily see him playing on Sundays. Some of the dimes that he's dropped this year are up there with the best throws that we've seen from Lawrence and Wilson and Fields and Trey Lance as well. Also pro experience. So this is year 4 in Bama's pro style scheme. He's been a quarterback under OCs Mike Locksley as well as Steve Sarkisian. Also, it's important, 2017 as a freshman came in under current Bills OC Brian Daboll. So he does have some pro-style roots as well. Plus, under Saban, Bama has traditionally been a lot of pro-style passing, a lot of pro-style concepts that Jones won't have a problem latching onto at the next level. Also pro mechanics. So lower body, I've only seen him throw off base a handful of times. He's very well repped, throwing very little wasted motion, and that does stem from the feet. He doesn't have a monster cannon arm per se, but that lower body torque does help with ball velocity. Cons. So mobility, he doesn't have to run too often, but he's going to be very statuesque. His high school 40 time was 4.91. Now, yes, as you get older, as you train up for that, maybe 4.8, but it's not going to be turning heads anytime soon. Pocket awareness, which is more important, seems okay, but also it hasn't really been put under the gun a ton at Alabama. Was sacked 3 times against Georgia. They did get some stank on him, so it showed that how he can get a little bit of heat on number 10. Now, he's not Kyle Trask and mobile. Trask is basically Drew Bledsoe back there, but sure as hell not Justin Fields or Trey Lance either. Also con. So not really con, but quote-unquote Bama effect, and this happens with any quarterback who's at a big-time school surrounded by big-time talent. And are they who they are because of the talent, or is the talent who they are because of the quarterback? So Devonta Smith, Jalen Waddle. Unfortunately, Waddle went down with that ankle injury against Tennessee, but they're both probably going to be first-round picks. Najee Harris looks like a day 2 guy, running back in the NFL. Alex Leatherwood is a first-round tackle, and the rest of that offensive line is full of guys who are going to be playing on Sundays as well. And it's easy to look good with perfect protection, reliable play action, and receivers who can streak open in a phone booth, right? Also, arm strength. So it's not a limiting factor, but he's certainly not a Jay Cutler back there. It sort of reminds me of a little bit less than Deshaun Watson, or more like mid-career Peyton Manning, where not a ton of zip, doesn't have that tangy zip America whip, but certainly enough, and it does find the guy wide open. He beats you with his mind and anticipation and preparation. And lastly, improv. So stems from Alabama's talent up front. Has need to make a lot of plays that are off schedule. Cool, but also good luck in Washington, especially if Brandon Scherf goes down. So great. But I think he does sneak into the first round conversation. I think that if you look at the quarterback tiers, I think it's Trevor Lawrence is still 1-1-1. And then you have Wilson, who is shooting up boards as well. Zach Wilson just continues to impress week in, week out. Trey Lance, who is stagnant because NDSU isn't playing as well as Justin Fields. Every single week is just woo. And then you have the Mac Jones, you have the Kyle Trask, maybe Derek King gets in the mix as well. Sam Ehlinger of Texas had himself an interesting weekend as well. So I think that there's going to be a ton of quarterback talent in this draft. I mean, plus there's another handful of guys that can be in the mix as well. Derek King, Riddler, etc. So it's going to be interesting come April, but it is kind of fun to see. That's one of the bright sides about the Vikings, just sort of. And also Kirk Cousins proving that he's so looking ahead to the draft, you get to see week by week it unfold, as opposed to into the season, college football just sort of happens in the background, and then you have to slam all of the information on January and February as you get ready for the April draft. But yeah, Mac Jones looking damn good. Alabama has a chance for another national title, so we'll see what number 10 does down in Tuscaloosa. But your thoughts, Mac Jones? Woo! Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support that work? Pull us up on the Venmo. But until next time, Skol, production value.